What's going on, my people, my people? In today's episode, I'm going to share 10 powerful truths that will help you improve your life. You'll discover how these insights can help you in your relationships, career, with your own personal development. Find out what these individuals have been doing to change their lives forever and start living the life of your dreams. These truths have helped me personally. So let's get into it. Let's do it on the Transform You Live show with your host, DJ Potential, aka Marcus.
Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Object! And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose! Your Honor, you had Marcus inside a phony transport! Your Honor, you doctored the logbook! Damn it, Captain! You coerced the doctor!
Consider yourself in contempt!
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Yeah, I'm back once again. Marcus Hart here. Don't forget to follow me at MarcusHart_official. Don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment. Comments are always appreciated. And if you haven't already and you are listening via podcast, don't forget to leave us a review. Reviews are always appreciated too. And they are absolutely free. They don't cost you nothing at all. Over here at the Transform You Live show, we help you to make your life much, much better by optimizing the power of hope, faith, and life transformation. So let's get off into it. We're talking about 10 life truths that everybody should accept, especially if you are trying to level up in life. Like I said, these are truths that like I've been like following along all my particular life, like kind of unconsciously. Some of these things I kind of like learned along the way. Some of these things, people kind of told me, and were taught to me by some mentors. It was kind of ironic that I came across this like in the app Quora. So Quora is a real good good app if you are looking for something looking for a question. There's a lot you get a lot of people that respond to questions that you answer in Quora, and this happened to be a question that was answered in Quora about like what are some 10 truths that you should accept in life, and this person answered them perfectly. And like I said, man, these are the exact same things I have kind of unconsciously been like kind of following. Some of these things have been taught to me, and some of these things that I just experienced, and and like I learned from them, and I went on ahead and I just revisit them, and I said, yeah, he's spot on. So let's start with like the first one. Number one, you can't force anyone to be what they want. Okay. And like, I mean, this is you would think this is a no-brainer, right? You would think like most people would know this, but how many times have you like been in situations or interacted with people, or even like in your own family, or maybe even in your own relationships, where you just like wish like, okay, I just want this person to change. They're gonna change, or I just want to impose my will on that person, but you can't. One thing about it is that like everybody's a unique, individual. Everybody's born complex. Everybody can't think like you. Everybody can like have the same, perspective as you. And sometimes you gotta like accept that everybody's gonna have their own perspective. You have to respect it and accept them for who they are. One thing that I was like I was learning in DBT, dialectic behavior therapy, is about acceptance, and we learn about radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is like, is not necessarily like being a pushover, but like, really like, having like a huge understanding, that like, there are just going to be some things that you just cannot change, that you just cannot just like, just, fight against. And one of those things is just, understanding that like when it comes to relationships especially, that like you cannot, impose always impose your will, upon others. Um, and it's always better just to let go, when people don't want to change. And I was talking with someone earlier today, you know, about like, sometimes the the whole reason for that is like they don't have the knowledge of how to change, or they may be comfortable with like how they are. um it could be like a strong value that like they're holding on to. It may be a religious belief. It could be anything. Okay. It could be anything. And you just have to, it's just better just let go rather than just like, like fighting against that, holding on to that. And not everybody wants to be a lifelong learner. Not everybody believes in personal development. Okay. One thing that we, especially we as conscious individuals, who choose to live a conscious life, who choose to be woke, and awakened, is once we become awakened, we think that like the whole world needs to be woke with us. And that's a pricey mistake that can lead us to a path of disappointment. You know, we become very disappointed and we become very frustrated, and that frustration can turn into a lot of rage. Okay, because like when you like looking in the world, it's like, okay, well, dang, nobody gets it. You start feeling like nobody gets it, but that's not the truth. It's not that nobody gets it. It's that like, okay, you might just be on a different path than what everybody else is. And you know sometimes you just got to accept it for what it is. And you know it's it's like the slang, it is what it is. And sometimes it really is what it is. um there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It is what it is. um and you got to have an acceptance. You got to practice acceptance. And sometimes you have to meet people where they are. Meet them where they are. And you know you don't have to stay there. Okay. Number one, you don't have to stay there. You can go down and visit. And then you can just recover and go back to where you were, and then continue on. All right. Which brings us to number two: constantly lamenting will not solve your problems. When you constantly lament, all right, what does that mean? Like complaining. All right. You know, there's a lot of people who lament. Right. What lament? The definition of lament is a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Okay. There's a lot of people who show a lot of grief. They are passionate. They're mourning. Um, they're in heavy grief. A sentiment for this is like they're deplored. They be moaning. They just in sorrow about a problem rather than taking action, getting up and acting. Okay, and this is the best way to brush off the problem rather than sitting there welling in the problem, grieving the problem like somebody just died. Okay, When you sit there and you looking at the problem as though the problem is alive, like the problem is more alive than you allow the problem to win. You the problem has outbeat you before you have even arrived. Okay, now how do you expect to succeed when you haven't even taken any action? The only way to show up and show out is by first showing up. And once you show up, you got to actually do something. But showing up and then just sitting there crying and moaning, what's going to happen? You're gonna constantly get punched in your nose. I never seen a boxer get in the ring and just stand there, like crying about who's got to fight. He puts his guards up. He throws a punch here and there. He dodges and he keeps punching. And sure enough, he gonna land enough punches where he gets some points on the board, and hopes that he can make it in enough rounds where you can either knock the person out or get a TKO, which is just as good. Everybody is like hoping that they can knock it out of the park, but you're not gonna always knock it out of the park. You're not always gonna be able to solve your problems the first time around. I'm going, I myself, I'm going through this right now. I'm trying to solve a problem that um, like to some people it seems easy, right? To some people, they say, well, if you just do this, do that, do that. Well, yeah. From the outside, yeah, that sounds so easy, but no. Sometimes you just gotta, you gotta do little by little, at the pace you can do it. But if I just sit there and do nothing, and I just, allow people to just, complain at me, and then I allow the things people are saying to affect me and destroy me, what eventually happens is that turns into depression. It turns into anxiety. You get anxious. It turns into more stress that can destroy your body. You get sick. You get irritated, and frustrated more. You take it out on people. So you gotta take some type of action and start making some effort forward. All right, all right. Which is a real good setup for um, once you take some action to brush the problems off. Which number three, this is a really good setup. Is destiny. How do you reach your destiny? Right. Everybody, if you ain't, I'm sure everybody heard, you have a destiny you must reach. Does destiny play a role in human life? But it does. And some people don't think it does. We all got a destiny. We all destined for something, whether we like it or not. You know, some things are just destined to happen, whether we like it or not. And it's not only um, for fatal things to happen. Okay, some fatalities are not fatalities. Some destinies are for the good. Some fatalities that may seem like it was for the bad has a bigger meaning behind it. And some things have deeper spiritual meanings. Also, there's people that may go as deep as saying, well, um, there's angel numbers, soul purposes, twin flames, the astronomy, and these things exist. Yeah, and I will say these things are possible. These things are very possible, especially that of the soul's purpose. The soul's purpose. This is more evident. This is something that is more measurable and more evident because we all come on this earth, and and we can see this by just the talents that we displayed, some of the things that we like, some of the things that we don't like, and some of the things that we some of the ways that we lead our life, and the legacy we leave behind, and this is like clues of the soul. Okay, so the soul's purpose, I think that one is a little bit more evidential than like some of the other ones. So when people say things like twin flame and angel numbers and some of those other things, high possibilities, but most people want more evidence. But the soul purpose definitely, a lot of clues behind those, and so I wouldn't rule some of those other things out. Soul purpose, I definitely highly evident. Destiny, destiny is something that plays a lot in the role of humanity, and we have to accept it. We have to accept that some things are just meant to happen, which brings me to number four. Everything and everyone in this world has its limitations. I'll say it one more time. Everything and everyone in this world has its limitations, whether we like it or not. Okay? People's skills and patience are one of those things that tend to be limited. Okay, and you can definitely increase it. You can definitely work on it, but I would even challenge you though on that because you know even with even the most highly patient person can slip from time to time. I can be a patient person, but there are a lot of times where I slip. I make a lot of mistakes in my patience. Yeah, and people know me to be a patient person. And then there's people who I have lost my patience with, and then they will take those times I lost my patience with them, and then they say, "Well, he's not that much of a patient person," and then they will say the same thing about you. So what is your limit then? So it would be fair to say that like you know these this skill that we almost work on, these skills that we must work on. Okay, it's a never ending thing, and they're so limited. Although like our potential to grow on this earth, it's limitless. We only limited on how much we can tap into it. And it takes a lot of patience on how to grow it. It takes a lot of patience on how to grow it. It takes a lot of patience on how to discover on how to build upon skill. You have to learn from a lot of different people. You have to learn and live long enough to gain more skill. Okay. Not even the smartest man on the planet has maximized the most in one skill set. And because like, why is that? Because like there's always gonna be something new that's gonna come after that. Come after the fact. Somebody's gonna always gonna come behind you and innovate upon what you have already learned. Things are always changing. This world's always changing. Times are always changing. So that's why we're so limited. And I think the creator did that for a reason. Limited is for a reason because like everything's is for a season. We only here for a season. Okay, we only here for a limited time only. Okay, once upon a time we lived longer. We haven't discovered how to live longer yet. The dualistic dominates the world. Number five. Before I break, The dualistic dominates the world. So face it. I like this one. The world tends to categorize people and things in two ways, either positive or negative. So people like to say this is gray, very black and white thinking. So I kind of would like say that. So there's either positive or negative, something versus non something, black versus white. You know, so like the dualistic way of thinking is always dominate the world. And there's always got to be evil versus good, positive versus negative, something versus non something, right versus wrong. It's just the order of the world. It's because it just makes more sense. There's no middle area with people, with the world. And you even see that in the animal kingdom. You will see where like if the monkey you see a bunch of monkeys. If one monkey like if one monkey has a bunch of bananas, and then the other monkey goes up to that monkey and steals his bananas. That monkey feels wrong to him. He's not going to justify the act. He's not going to say, well, maybe that monkey was hungry, maybe that monkey has kids. He's going to say, he wronged me, that was wrong, now I go slap him. There's only dualistic thinking in the world. Okay. And people who think outside of that, like they tend to be um they tend to be like the outsiders of the world, usually. All right, so let's take a quick break. Let's talk about our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Oh, hold on. We was gonna talk about our sponsors, but uh, I don't have the right one queued up just yet. So um, while I'm trying to get the right one queued up, you know, let's let's explore more about that dualistic way of thinking. You ever notice how when it rains, you know, yeah, better yet, huh, okay, so the seven, all right, okay, so yeah, you ever notice how when it rains though, when it rains, when it rains, we do run into a bit of issues with rain. One of the issues is you get people who tend to drive a little bit more faster than what they're supposed to. Then you get people who tend to drive a lot more slower than what they're supposed to. Okay. Now let's take that quick break. So like being that we in a dualistic world, and I was talking about positive versus negative. One thing that's real positive is our next partner. Uh, our next partner, has a product that I literally use every day. I started taking AG1 because I didn't have time. I wanted better gut health, and I needed more energy, and I needed the focus too. And for one, I don't like taking a whole bunch of pills. I hate taking a whole bunch of pills. Like my for one, my freaking primary provider, she gave me all these vitamins. I got vitamin D, I got doggone elderberry, zinc, I got magnesium. I got everything. All in different bottles, and like sometimes I forget them when I'm going on trips. But now that I've been on AG1, going on more than a month, I absolutely love it, and the taste is super good. It ain't just super healthy and nasty. It got a mild tropical taste that I look forward to every morning. It's delicious. All it takes is just one scoop, and voila. You got 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, all that good stuff to start your day, right? Ooh, 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 ooh. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, Play-Doh, vegan, dairy free, gluten free, all that free. And the price is right. It costs you less than $3 a day. So, right now, it's your time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day, like I said. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you one free 1 year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and free, yes, free, five of these boys travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is go to athleticgreens.com/transform you. Athleticgreens.com/transform you to take control over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance. Now let's go back to the show.
Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Object! And when it went bad,
That'll be all,
you cut
Counsel.
these guys loose! Your Honor, you had
Counsel, I'll
markets
hold you
inside
in
a phony
contempt.
transport. Your Honor, you doctored the logbook.
Damn it,
You
Cappy!
coerced the doctor.
Consider
Now
yourself
I'm
in
asking you,
contempt.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
I love that scene. You can't handle the truth. Speaking of truths, and shout out once again to the Athletic Greens. We got five more troops to cover for you. Five more troops. Number six. Number six. There are no males or females. Okay. You know. Now I ain't trying to get into all of that. You know, I'm not being political here. Now, why do you say that? Why do you say that? Why do you say there are no males or females? The chromosome structure is the primary thing that distinguishes between the two. All right. So I know that there's, this whole political and this whole other thing going on about, how do you identify as a male or a female? Who identifies as a man or woman? Non-binary, all this other stuff. But remember, the only truth you need to live by is that the chromosome structure is the primary thing that distinguishes between the two. This is the one thing you cannot and will never change. You cannot cheat this. You cannot lie about this ever. Sorry. End of story. All right, so which brings us to the number 7. People do not tend to see the sinners. What do you mean by that? It doesn't only apply to dualistic differences, though. Think about the four gods, for example. Whoever recognizes the yellow dragon, the one in the center, So first and foremost, yeah, like you got four gods, but nobody never like pays attention to the yellow dragon in the middle. Everybody like you like, oh, the other two. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it's true though. Like, I mean, people are so like looking at like the right or the left, but why not just the center path? Why not just go down both? Why not be a moderate? You can have a little bit of both. You can have some red and some blue Kool-Aid. Hmm? How about a little bit of red sometimes, a little bit of blue sometimes? Hmm? You know? Yeah, I know some people out there like, yeah, I like a little bit of blue and some red Kool-Aid sometimes. Yeah. Put a little bit of honey in there too. I don't know. You guys. Number 8. Ego plays the main cast in the movie called Our Lives. It is our egos. Do you know how many people matter of fact, have you ever heard of the term egotistic? You got to deal with it. You got to deal with it because there are so many people who heads are, man, a lot of egos. I know. I myself, I have to get out of my own ego and out of my own way, and I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. But ego has its purpose. Maybe we'll do a show on ego. Ego has its purpose, and ego has its purpose when it's not needed. Okay, um, but egotistic, man, it's a lot of egotism, like egotisms going around, a lot of egotisms that breaks up happy homes. Um, and for too long, it's been the main cast in our lives, and we have to learn how to deal with it. We have to deal with it. Okay. Number 9, escaping the situation is nearly impossible. Okay. So there are situations where even luck won't save us. All right. Even luck won't save us. Sometimes people be banking on luck to save you. You can't always bank on luck. You know, luck is not for everybody. Luck is not for every situation either. Don't be that fool that is counting on luck to get you out of every doggone thing. And I I just can't put my trust in luck because if luck worked for everything, we all would be going to the casino or we all would be playing the lottery and we all would be winning. And you know what happens when everybody win the lottery, right? Just imagine what that money looks like. Not a doggone cent. Nobody gets anything. Probably $1, less than $1, maybe. Hmm. All right. Um, but you'll like this one though, especially if you're on the right side of this, because this one's for you. Number 10. This is the last and final one. Drum roll, please. The righteous will always win. This is true, and I know this to be true. Um, and it's regardless of how impossible the situation may look. So, despite of what number 9 was, if like you in a messed up situation, and you just like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna win this. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. I just don't know. I am effed, like frickin' effed. And you don't know, but you know, you're a righteous person deep down in your heart, deep down to the pits of your soul. Like, but the thing about righteous people, we don't gotta go around, announcing it. We ain't gotta say it. We ain't gotta say it. We much more humble than that. We don't have to say it. We don't have to wear a T-shirt that say righteous. Maybe we should, but like, we don't have to. Like, we win. The righteous win, and we win before it's even started, or before it's even begun. And I think that's like one of the coolest things about being on the right side of history, especially, um, is that things always work out for those who are righteous and trying to do the right thing. And yeah, I think that really covers it. And you know, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this one and really got a lot out of this one. And if you liked this, really officially like it, and please do me a favor by following as well. It will motivate me to uh, find you more content like this, and leave me a comment and tell me how you really feel about it as well. Um, don't forget to follow the show on IG at Transform You Live Show, Transform You Live Show. We are also on YouTube, on the tube. We're on Twitter at Transform You Live. That's the network's Twitter, but you'll find stuff there though. And of course, follow me at Marcus Hart _ official on TikTok, IG, Marcus Hart official on Facebook as well. So yeah, that's all. Until next time, as always, many blessings, peace, and lots of love. I'm out.